She is such a great educator, and I know how much you would have made a difference in the lives of many of the teachers there. Not just to teach, she was heading a school there and part of the board of education too. And so not just the students, but also many of the teachers. So she's a role model for me. So okay, with that, I think we'll
Yeah, we'll
No,
stop.
I think you should tell about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I've known of Auntie for, like I was saying, for 5-10 years. Met her through, or heard about her through Amma and my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law has been with Auntie for more than 10 years now, ever since Auntie moved to India. Ever since she moved to India.
Okay.
I met Auntie 2.5 years ago, and it didn't take me long to realize not to judge a book by its cover. Auntie comes across as very, it's a classic example of simple living and high thinking. So my first impression of Auntie was, okay, fine. And then within about 10 minutes, I realized just the depth of knowledge and wisdom that she has. And Auntie has been an absolute pillar of support for me and our family for the last, over the last 2 years. We've had a very rocky 2 years. So, all of us, Auntie's been an absolute pillar of strength for me personally and for all of our family as well. And just a bit of background about Auntie is Auntie is a neuroscientist. She was with Temple University in the US for 30 odd years. She was in the US itself for 40 years and then decided to move to India to start YogaKshema, which is a wellness and rehabilitation center. And the ethos of YogaKshema is essentially to marry neuroscientific principles with spiritual wisdom. So our traditional Vedanta philosophy, marrying that together with with the latest developments in neuroscience and explaining why certain things we have been told make sense through neuroscience research that's happening currently. So, and although Auntie's focus has been on helping improve quality of life, improving interpersonal relationships, it's also equally important we can apply it in different places. So it's about understanding the concepts and learning to apply them. Auntie also has, as Auntie said, she has developed various programs for things like depression. She's very passionate about mindfulness, anxiety. She's currently working on anxiety. So all of those are kind of encapsulated in YogaKshema and what it offers. And it's evidenced by the fact that there are thousands of followers. And Auntie does workshops in 6 countries. So in India, South Africa, US, Canada, UK, Ireland, and she's associated with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna Ashram, and then through them she does a series of she kind of spreads the value system of YogaKshema through to as many people as she can. So we are very lucky to have her here today, and on a topic that is very relevant to us as well.
Is it any age group you cater to, Auntie, or is it?
No, it is
Not
excellent. That
really,
is
because-
across the
Across all
spectrum.
age groups.
From primary kids to people like me also. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because it's hard for people to even believe that, because there is a statement in Upanishad, it says, Sarvam Manai Eva. Sarvam means everything, Manai is Manas Eva. It's all about mind and nothing else. So we do talk, educate people about the workings of mind, workings of brain. So whether it's from 3-year-old kid, because that's the workbook we are preparing with somebody a retired teacher in South Africa, collaborating with her and writing this workbook. From 3-year-old we have started to 18-year-old amongst the children, and then homemakers and working professionals. And then we also go and conduct workshops or even talks in companies in other countries too, educational institutions, schools and colleges, and a very cozy setup like this, which is what I truly enjoy, because that that one-on-one interaction means a lot. And then even if it is for one person, as you rightly said, you're going to go spread that message and implement these concepts at home, which is where it is needed the most. So yeah, it's for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And,
No,
and for the benefit of those on live stream, we are going to be doing a few activities.
Yeah.
It will take a few minutes, but we request you to stay on the line. And we, Auntie will hopefully, summarize it
Yes, we'll
for
do that.
everyone's benefit
Yeah.
as well.
That's right. Yeah, the activity will take less than 5 minutes. It's the interaction that is most interesting. YogaKshema, each and every person in YogaKshema is a volunteer, starting from me to the youngest volunteer here, Aditi. And I just want to share, because I know none of you would know Kannada here, but just before coming here or going to US, just about 2 months back, we released 3 books actually, and that was in Kannada, but because the publishers are requesting us to do it in Kannada, there's hardly much neuroscience books in our mother tongue in Kannada. So we published about 3 books, released 3 books just 2 months back. And for one of the books, our youngest volunteer here, and she is so creative, she has done the cover design for this. And this book, the title of this book, I'll read it in Kannada and then explain it in English. Kathe Kelona, Manassu Ariyona. Kathe means stories. Kelona means let's listen to the stories. Manas, you understand, Ariyona. And let's understand our mind through stories. And Aditi here has, she's published, so young and so talented,
Very
She's-
proud of you. Well done.
and this is an authentic publication with ISBN number. We couldn't even have thought about it at her age, and she's so talented. And this number is in Delhi, Aditi, and wherever people look at that number, whichever country they are in, they'll be able to get information about the book, and so it is you. And not only that, we encourage young creative artists and oldies like us, because we have also roped in another elderly person to do the illustration for our anxiety book. As she was saying, not only do we cater to all ages, and then we encourage them to be part of this. So if at all anybody is kind of have any talent either in writing or illustration, please let Sharda know, because we are trying to encourage Sharda for the next writing, because we have done so much work, and on demand right now. I'm only doing the writing part only outside of India. I give talks and conduct workshops in India. I don't do this at all. So focusing on the writing. So anybody is interested, please
I'll
let
bring
Sharda
my
know.
daughter is a bilingual, quite a multilingual.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check it.
Translated, that's
Yeah,
another
maybe,
thing,
yeah.
from English to another language. If you're interested in translating, any of that can happen. And then we asked her, of course, you know how creative people are, they write, and then we need to understand the psyche of these artists, because what I do is left brain. It's very easy, straightforward to understand. So we have asked them to, what did you think about this when you write this? This is for the book. It's tough for us to know what is happening in her mind, right? So we asked her, and she's given an explanation for this illustration, and I'll read that to you. I want to make books appear as if they are directly contributing to the ideas. That's where the light bulb next to the head comes about. I opted for a minimalist one-line style as to not draw away too much attention from the point, to make the subject appear clear and succinct. So the message being communicated would be the focus. I used a simple glow effect as I wanted the book to appear magical with knowledge. Aditi Lakshmi Narayan. And I officially congratulate you, Aditi, and it's truly an honor to be working with young kids. It's an honor for me to be working with young kids like this, and people like Lali Auntie, Lalita Kandaswamy. So with that, I think we'll start. And then today, Aditi is gonna help me with the activity, and we'll take it from there. Aditi, do you wanna just let them know about the template and what they need to do?
Are the supplies back there?
Yeah.
You have
I
to
think we, yeah.
get in front of the camera for this. Aditi, no? Please show the
Little activity, Auntie said there's no need.
no need.
No. So this is coming out a little bit. That's okay. We'll keep it on the floor rather than on this. Go ahead, tell them, give them instructions.
Okay. So there's the piece here, and you'll need to get into 2 equal teams. And I think the task is quite simple. So it doesn't need to be a very good replica. All you need to do is just use the same resources.
They are there.
there.
So we need to replicate the same.
Yeah.
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 That's quite literally it. It's not.
It's going to be tough, at least for me. But she's done in very. And by the way, that was done by Aditi. So yeah, just reproduce
So
that
just
artwork.
in your teams, all you have to do is
You
use
have-
the same resources and just replicate it. So it's not.
Do we have a time limit as well?
3
Yes,
minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And
You
do
know,
you
do you
want
want
to
to divide
even at the
yourselves?
side.
So who is streaming me?
We need
What?
6.
Can you divide yourselves into
Yeah.
3 each?
No,
I
I
don't
don't know, but
Yeah,
we
it's
can
one
draw
hour.
a drawing.
Lali,
Yeah,
if you want
okay.
to come on
Which
that
page?
side.
Okay, I can draw. Come here.
Yeah, you can put the clouds.
Okay, so
And
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
do
yeah,
that.
we have the.
So you got palm tree and what is it? Is it
Palm tree, a
coconut
house.
tree.
A house.
We will leave it
Yeah.
there.
And with
Do
the
you want
pond,
to
with
do
some
the
fish.
timing?
Oh, sun.
Shall, okay,
Okay.
the timing starts now.
oh, we
Okay.
have started.
I do the clouds.
Okay.
Easy way.
You have it?
No.
You're doing the tree.
Okay.
Okay. There's no
I have
rules,
the.
there's no to be
I've checked the
exact,
time
it's
now.
just
No,
I'll just keep track.
Your own
Okay.
interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Is the glue working?
Yeah, you have to squeeze it really hard. Oh, you didn't take the lid off.
Yeah. Okay, why
I
don't you
couldn't.
check them?
You can, yeah,
Twist it.
you can use this one. You need the glue?
Okay.
You can put a bit more down if you want.
No, they can put it here. I think it's done.
The brown, even you down.
What do you want to put here?
Okay, I've used up all the cotton.
Oh, the match.
What do I do next? You can do
Maybe
paint a
it's
leaf.
she's
Okay,
not
fine.
doing it.
No.
Yeah, there'll be some light leaves and
The
some
other-
dark leaves.
That auntie.
Right, my piece is done.
Okay, I'll draw the.
Come here.
Okay, I'll do the.
Come with us.
Birds.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it is.
Okay, last 30 seconds.
Oh no.
The one in yellow. Sit. Yeah, come over. Done?
Okay.
Is it finished? Oh, we
No,
still-
no. Come over.
Oh, okay.
Few more seconds.
Oh, I need to sit here. Oh, okay. Oh, the fish.
Where's the fish?
There's a fish.
Oh,
Look. I was pond with the fish.
Oh, Mr. Fish.
Our
Okay.
sticks, our
Are you
sticks.
doing a food? There's a fish. There's a fish.
Matchsticks, matchsticks. Do you remember the matchsticks house? Come on.
Here.
Yeah, I think you're covered.
What do we need matchsticks for? We did
For
one.
the house.
Okay, 10,
Sorry, supposed to stick it out.
10, 9,
You stop.
8.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love your interpretation.
Yeah.
Just
5,
so you are supposed to
Five.
This is a mansion, not the hut.
4,
Still do more.
I know
She
you just
has
moved
to
house.
1, done. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You may stop. You may stop.
Right.
Oh, you've done a good job.
Let's see.
We have all done a good job.
Yeah,
We forgot the matchsticks.
You win.
come have a seat. Yeah, you can go.
That what we thought we could, we have done much better.
All right. Come have a seat.
Oh, yes.
Did you enjoy?
Yeah, it was good, really.
Okay, that's all right.
We just
Let's see what happened here. Come, Aditi. That's okay.
Why did you take away my matchsticks?
Come, have a seat. Let's discuss. This is even more important than.
Yeah.
Oh, we know how to have fun.
Yeah.
But we also know when we are having too much fun, what happens the next day when we have to go to work. Or having too much fun at work and there is something happening, a birthday, kid's birthday at home, and you know what happens, right? So it's not just about having fun. How do we manage that fun, right? What happened? Shada was asking, we pulled the two of you out. Why? Why did we do that? Can you think?
Great disruption.
Okay.
No, time up.
And no, there was enough time. And we took away the matchsticks. And before we took away something else, here the time was up.
We were engrossed in the people.
I didn't
we
even
were doing, we
notice.
were engrossed
Yeah,
in
we
other
didn't even
people's
notice.
food.
I did. Did you? I didn't notice. I was too busy.
Huh? You
I
were too
didn't
busy. You
notice,
didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You didn't even realize the matchsticks were missing.
Yeah, I was panicking about the matchsticks.
And Lali wasn't even sure what was happening. Why are you pulling me out?
Yeah.
We were clueless. But somehow we finished and we had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean? If you look at the larger picture, everything we provided, including you, you're all resources to complete a project, right?
Yeah.
This was a project, what you go through at work. And how much we complain when we have limited resources. What happened when we pulled out the people? We're limiting the resources. And somehow you managed here.
Because it's
Because
an
it
easy
was
task.
fun. Easy task, and more than that, you know, nothing mattered, just having fun, right? And we pulled out even the literal, not just the human resources, other resources too. But what prevents us to look at the work that we do in a similar way than what we did here? This project, yeah, we can. It symbolizes our everyday life, and not just at work, what we do at home. All of a sudden, the maid won't show up, and you have people coming in. That is limited resource, right? How do we manage at that time? Why is it? It causes us stress when the resources are limited and we have to do something. Whereas it is art, it's only artwork is how we think. But whatever we do is highly symbolic, right? What is it that prevents us to look at life in this way?
Find joy in it.
Yeah.
Joy.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Because this is artwork, this is joyous. Life can also be
Yes.
treated like that, right? Why? What is it that is happening in us to treat life like that?
So one day you can accept it, okay, the cleaner is not come or the cooker is not come. Continuously the person is not come, then the stress is building up. It's a one day resource is pulled out, you can accept it, okay. three of us were there, okay, two of us pulled in, okay, I can manage it. When things goes out of your hand, then it's where the
No,
stress
when
starts.
it happens every day, then there is a pattern. Then we need to be ready to look at things in a different way, isn't it? At least if it's in a once in a while is more difficult because you depend on somebody, something, and that doesn't happen and you're not prepared. If it happens on a regular basis, of course, it's not always the maid. One day it is the maid, another day it is traffic, some other day it is something else, and some other day it is child not being healthy. But this is the norm, this is life, isn't it? Why is it we cannot prepare for life? Like, it's an open-ended question. I'm not looking for answers. Rhetoric question. That's why we are here to figure out. This is, as you rightly said, this is what causes stress. And we know this is the way life is. Here you didn't even know what when you were doing the activity, you didn't even know what was going to happen. Why you didn't even know the matchsticks were missing, the resources were missing because you didn't even know. There in life, we know what is a given is all these unexpected things that would happen. And not just for us, for everybody in life. And why, how come we are not either taught, we are not prepared to face such challenges? And not just you, when I was your age, I also went through. That is why, and not only just like you, in a different country, in a different culture, learning about many things. So it's not that I did not go through, because I've gone through, I'm able to understand more. I'm not doing this because I didn't go through any of this, so I can come and educate you. Absolutely not. I've gone through all of this, and I'm trying to see how, whatever I have learned through life experience, how is it I can share from a scientific perspective, which means it's all about commonality. Science is about common. You might go through something with an 8-year-old with health condition, somebody else with a maid not coming, somebody else with not the team leader. The team lead at work is not very cooperative. The manager is not as he or she should be. Right? The challenges or the triggers may be different. But what happens to us at the level of body, at the level of mind, will be the same. At least at the level of the body, it might change. But at the level of mind, what happens to each one of us based on all of this would be the same. That is where the power of science, that it is common for everybody what happens at the level of mind. And it's also reproducible. Not only the challenges, what happens and then what we go through, stress is reproducible. The same way, if we learn what is stress and how to overcome, when we implement that, that is also, the results are also reproducible. I just want you to appreciate this before we go through. Something to think about. How can we let this activity come to your mind every day when you go through the challenges? How come I was able to do that? Don't think of it, it's only artwork, it was joyous. It is symbolic. We want you to think this through every day, what you go through. And then you will laugh at it. It's easy to say, I'm not able to. Then you need to go deeper, not just stop at understanding stress. Then something else is deeper. This is how YogaKshema has come about, many different workshops and talks, because for some people just this is enough, they're able to manage. For some others, no matter what, I'm still not able to manage what is happening in my life. Then we figure out and then come up with other ways. That is how we have come up with all our workshops and talks, by others sharing their experiences and how they were able to be helped, and much more than that. For some people it was not enough, so we have come up with other ways. So with that, we can go through the next activity. I think Aditi
need
is
a
gonna-
piece, huh?
it is- yeah,
I'll
it is
take
nice.
Should I take this up?
Yeah,
And
that
we can
can
put
take
it underneath the sofa.
it anywhere.
No, because it's got gum and all.
Even otherwise, keep on.
I'll keep it up because this
If she wants to, otherwise I can do it myself.
Yeah, and I'll keep it on the bottom.
Yeah, just put it under the sofa. Push it, yeah. That's it. Done.
If she wants to.
She.
I hope you enjoyed
Yeah,
this
it was
is
thoughtful.
activity. Yes. Do you want to give this to everybody, and you also take one, and then for everybody. You can-
just needs
One
a book
each.
underneath.
Oh, I'll get no. You don't need to. You don't need to. You don't
Okay.
need a book for that. It's not for writing. Yeah, go ahead. Give it to everybody.
No, I want.
Give one for each.
Oh,
Yeah. This is not for writing.
You need, yeah.
And just pass it around to
Yeah, good.
I do have one, so.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Now, I'm
Next
gonna-
activity.
Yeah.
You
If
take
we
one.
keep it here, if we need,
One
we'll
for her.
pass. No, now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody has one? Okay.
yeah. We can
Take one, Aditi, and then I'm going to give you instructions. Just follow the instructions.
keep it here in case they need more, we can pass.
All right?
You need a support, somebody?
No, no need to. No. They,
Yeah.
their hands have to be free. No need for any of that. It's not for writing.
Yeah.
No, the support pad.
No, they don't need. You take one too.
I'll just
I've got one.
Me so.
Oh.
Okay.
I think we don't need anything.
Come on,
He
Aditi.
loves to be in the middle of the action.
You can
No,
do
the
it.
more people around him, the more he loves it.
All right. Now, these are the instructions. Once we start the activity, you cannot talk and you cannot ask questions. I will give you instructions only once, and you need to be attentive and follow. Okay? All right. Yeah. If you have any questions before I give
And then
instructions, you can
timings
ask.
is there for this as well.
No, no timing.
You cannot
No.
ask questions, you cannot talk.
Do we need a
Yes.
pen?
No,
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
you cannot ask questions. Yeah, you cannot talk. This is gonna be even more fun than that other one. Yes. All right. Fold the paper into half. And then tear away half an inch at the, let's say, upper left hand corner, half an inch. Tear away and put the paper down on the floor. And then fold the paper
The
into
small
half
piece-
again.
you
It's
keep
okay.
the big
No,
piece.
you cannot talk. So, yeah, no, please, no talking. Fold the paper into half. And then 1 centimeter, tear the paper on the left bottom corner. And fold it into half again. And tear on the bottom right hand corner about half a centimeter. Okay, now can you open a pen and show me how it looks? Okay?
But very good.
All right.
That's one.
Look at that. Are any two of them the same?
No.
No, I think we both got a bit the same. Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
More or less, right? Why? Why is that?
Interpretation.
Huh?
Interpretation.
Of?
The instructions. The
Of-
instruction. Yeah, well, yeah.
Interpretation of my instructions?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, how I understood what you told me to do. Yeah. And what are the other ways, different ways I can do. That's what I've, yeah, because it's a left and which way to hold, there wasn't any specifications around it.
Yeah.
It could be
Then-
like whether I am left-handed or right-handed, then the way I fold becomes different.
And the way
you hold the
paper
ambidextrous, yeah.
make a. So
Yeah.
how I
How we
understood
hold
it,
the
how you
paper.
understood it was totally
Yeah.
different.
And how we fold it, do we fold it on the left side or the right side?
Yeah.
So many things.
And you can
Yeah.
even fold in horizontal also, in this way also without.
Yeah.
Normally
Because
not
you were
outside.
all watching each other, you folded the same way, right?
No,
I was thinking
Okay.
I think that was almost instinctive and it's the cutting the
Maybe some of us, yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yes.
Can I
this is
say
how
this?
Yeah.
Can I say this? Rather than your interpretation, maybe my instructions were vague. I will take it upon myself.
Uh-huh.
Do you think maybe it is?
Yeah, it was vague. Sorry, say
Isn't
that
it?
Vague.
Yeah.
My
Vague.
instructions
yes.
were
Yes.
vague.
Yes.
That's why it's
It was
much
very
more than
generic. It was very
interpretation.
generic. So I can move this way, that way.
Right,
that's fine.
isn't it? So why don't I do this? Can we give one sheet for everybody? And now you close your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you specific instructions. And then
The little helper.
And you think we should not look at anybody else.
yeah, that's why you close your
That's why you
eyes.
exercise our eyes.
Oh, close
our eyes. Okay.
And you can do this. You don't need to see what you're doing because the instructions will be very clear now.
Okay.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Whichever way you want to hold the paper, that is fine with me. Now, whichever way you want to hold the paper is okay, not fold. All right. Now, let's see. You fold the paper not into half, three parts. Try. I know it can be as close as possible. I know your eyes are closed. It's still okay. All right. And then top left hand corner. Again, hold the paper in your own way, whichever way you started, and then top left hand corner, tear 1 centimeter of the paper. Top left hand corner. And then now, open up the paper and then fold it into half. Now take 1 inch on the bottom right hand corner. Don't open your eyes and fold it one more time into half vertically right hand corner, take away or tear off
How much?
and we cannot speak. All right, quarter of an inch. All right. Now you can open up your eyes and then open your eyes and then show me how it looks. Some of us, even before the instructions, we had started tearing. When compared to last time, this time the instructions were more specific, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Like you just said tear. You didn't, only the third time you said tear off. So the other time I just told like this. I didn't tear off.
Yeah, okay. True. Because we followed the previous thing was there in
Yes.
the
Okay, that's all right. Other than that,
And then the folding of
usually
course.
tear off, tear means it can be. That's right. That is that specific. This go ahead. Yes. And
And then
why is it? It's still not the same. But when compared to last time, this was lot more specific.
But you said fold it in 3 parts, but we didn't fold it into 3 equal parts. They were different.
That's okay.
No, that's what happened.
Because you could not see.
See, yeah.
That I can understand. That leverage you have.
And then you said
I think
fold it vertically only the third time, then we know to fold it vertically. But other
Exactly.
times we fold it
Right.
in the way
Right.
that we
What does this
interpreted.
The mind adds.
show? Now, can we do one more time?
But the
I'm
mind
going to
fills
be
in the
really
blanks.
specific.
Let's
Let's
do
do it really quickly. Come.
But I have not seen for everyone else how it
Look, look at that. It's very different.
We all went to the corners, yeah.
Yeah. But how come you don't have one in the middle?
That's what the way we running.
We fold it different.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
this is how it. Yeah, maybe the way we fold.
Yeah, I folded it.
Or
one
maybe
way.
the way we understood.
Same.
The way we fold, way we understood.
The way we tear also.
Instructions were the same. Maybe the way we understood.
I don't dare to
Yeah,
listen
because
that
those
one.
was they
Oh,
were
no,
doing
it's
the
the
same.
same.
We three are doing
Oh,
almost
I'll
the
have
same.
some later, I think.
You have to ask these questions.
Yeah,
But
that's
let
another
me
thing.
find out the answer.
This you, there you are.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to be really specific, okay? Now, close your eyes. Yeah, hold the paper like this because you started off somewhere, somebody holding it this way, somebody holding it that way too.
So which way you holding this one? Yeah, horizontal. Horizontal.
Okay, now see everybody the same way. Okay, now you close your eyes. All right. Now, fold it vertically into half. No peeking. And now, tear off bottom left hand corner about 1 centimeter, or let's make it 2 centimeters. Bottom right hand corner. 2 centimeters. Alright, now fold your paper into half again, horizontally, and tear away the top left hand corner. Tear off about 1 centimeter. Done? You may open your eyes and then see whether it is.
No, but we began like this, so you should hold it the same way.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How is that all the same now?
No.
You agree I gave the specific
But
instructions?
there is a pattern.
Forget about the pattern now.
Yeah.
You're individuals.
Yeah.
Forget about the pattern now. That comes at a next
Okay,
level.
okay.
We will stay at the
Yeah.
the individual level.
Okay.
You would say, I gave you started off holding it the same way that you saw, and the instructions were specific. How come?
Because
Each person's brains. No, go ahead.
you're giving audible instructions for a visual task, so there's not really anything to reference it towards. If we had a video of someone doing it and then compared it,
No, but the audio instructions are, if they're specific, that should not matter, because now we have the videos. When we grew up, where were videos? We only had audio instructions we needed to follow. And forget about this task. Every time mom gives you instructions, will she give you the video instructions?
no, I'm using video as an example because
I know.
the brain visualizes audible things differently compared to if they had it.
But the understanding should be the same, isn't it? The way the brain works, whether you hear it or you see it, the comprehension should be the same, isn't it so?
You know,
But
Usha,
it's dependent on the perspective.
Yeah, that's exactly
yeah,
what
your instructions could be more specific and
To think,
better
okay,
than the last time. It can
okay,
be.
now,
Like when you say tear, I
It
tore
is-
it in straight lines. I could tear in a
I've got a
way.
confession
that
to
is
make.
okay, but even that 1 centimeter is different.
Yeah, but see, I wasn't worried about the centimeters instruction. I said,
That was very much important, right? I said centimeters, I said inches. Everybody's understanding of the centimeter and inches is different.
all that vertical and horizontal. I was like, I don't know what vertical and horizontal.
When
So
we
I got
folded it, paper was horizontal, then
Yeah.
we are folding into vertical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I
like,
also
which
got it.
direction?
I think
The
basically
direction
what it
was
is the brain, each person's brain fills in the gaps in different ways.
Or it is very past history was there how it was. So that is another
That
thing.
could be it, because whichever way you're keeping the paper, it doesn't matter. Vertical means it's 9 by 11 or 8 by 11. The 11 part, whichever is longer, that becomes vertical, right? Isn't it so? So the instructions were specific. Even the way we folded vertically, it was different
No,
from each
Usha,
one.
see, if I fold it like this, then the two open edges are here. Okay? If Sharda folds it, let us say she folds it like this, then the two edges are on the right hand side. For me, the edges were on the left hand side. So
The first instruction is not as specific. So the very first instruction has to be specific, right? What I'm trying to get at is this is an exercise for communication. We think we are giving proper instructions for our kids,
Proper.
for people in our team, including the intent, especially when we are raising kids. Why are we so disciplined? We know the answers because we have gone through life. Do we take time? Do we learn for ourselves how we can convey that message to the kids?
no, we do.
This is again where it symbolizes. It's not about 1 centimeter, 1 inch, none of that. Even that was different. Even here we could not.
Can I just
Yes.
I've done a similar exercise at work once, and what it was very telling of is that we've got to tailor our communication to whoever it is that's receiving it. So with an exercise like this, all of us interpreted it differently because some of us may be hugely logical, scientific minded, others are more creative mindset based, so we will do this quite differently. But when you're engaging with your team members, you work out what sort of mindset they are by engaging with them, understanding them, and then tailor communication to them.
Absolutely.
Then you got the connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so with the team. And it is so the kids. All kids are not the same. Some are creative, different age groups. And as Aditi rightly said, some take audio instructions in a different way. Others are more visual, right? Some are visual, some are auditory, as Aditi said. I was just trying not to give the answer right away. Each one of us is different. But we focus on the outward, superficial things, not going deeper. At work, it is many times it is much easier because we know what the product has to be, so we give the right instructions. We are following all of that as we go along.
And we are emotionally less invested.
Absolutely. But yes and no. We are also emotionally invested in a different way there.
Probably.
But we have a certain way of how our kids have to be and the way we give instructions, bringing them up, including the everyday chores or everyday what we eat, all of that is what I call the instructions of life. And sometimes just one-sided instruction cannot be enough, right? There has to be open communication to understand. And it has to happen both ways. Many a times we have our own ways, and of course in this country there is open communication with the kids or with the team. At least in India now it is different. At least the way we grew up, it would be different, right? Only take instructions from the higher up hierarchy. But even now, without thinking, we know how our kids have to turn out to be. And keeping that in mind, even the kids understand, even the team members understand. It's not just about the kids, in general, about communication. Starting with the intent, as you rightly said, it is very different at work. But even there, if it is not conveyed properly, you know it's an important project. And at times you cannot even tell the deadline beforehand, and then you're sure it will be done within a certain time, and then it goes on. And then all of a sudden you get pressure from the higher up, and then we push it on other team members who are below us. And we are sandwiched between the two. Whether there or sometimes here, even here at home, sandwiched between the way we were brought up with our parents and with our kids, and what is happening in the culture. What I'm also trying to say, especially for us Indians, when we have been brought up by a different culture, when we come to a totally different culture, there has to be constant learning. Parenting is not just about bringing up the kids, giving them the right food and education and clothing and whatnot. Much deeper than that. As I was saying in the beginning, we're doing workbooks for kids to be future ready. Even as parents, we need to be future ready. And especially in this day and age with the AI influence, until and unless we are on top of things, it is going to become tougher and tougher as we go along. And it's not just within us, and this has to be conveyed to our kids. The focus has to be, at least at home. In work, it is very clear. We know what the end product has to be. It will be delivered. At home, we have not thought about it this way with parenting. The way we were brought up, we know it cannot happen. But many a times that is also what we are doing without our knowledge. And at least in Western countries, and this is what I'm also saying, even in India, not just in Western countries, the way we bring up our kids with values are caught, not taught. We have heard this. And it cannot be just that. There has to be, as you were saying, both left-brained approach and right-brained approach. Everybody is different. At different times, everybody picks up differently. So what we're even trying to say is, The values of kids are different. The values of parents are different. Values of spouses will be different. And just like how we have meetings at work and we come up with certain things in a common way, we need to be doing this on a regular basis at home, figuring out what are your values. And we cannot decide as parents, these are the values you need to follow. That does not work anymore. And the values have to be agreed upon as a family. Just like the values are agreed upon at work, it goes in a natural way. And if they don't fit in, either they leave or they're gonna be given the pink slip, right? Somebody at work, if they're not following the company's values, in a similar manner, of course, there is no pink slip here. We need to be revisiting the values, and even the values, what we want has to be decided in a collective manner. And that values need to be changing. It cannot be just one set of values and therefore all the 18 years until the kid gets out of the home by themselves. And it is not just the values that we were taught that won't cut at all, that won't cut in. It's not just about being honest, not wasting. Those are not at all gonna be the values that we think. But at times that does come up. It is also needed. But much more than that. That varies. That's a different topic in itself. We're not going to get into that. Start thinking how are we going to be doing this. By the way, the another booklet that is going to come up in December, but we have started writing with Samit Shetty for that matter. It is on mindful parenting, keeping in mind how parents need to be future ready. So with that activity, I think we can start off, and want you to think if you have any questions with these two activities before we start off. You can.
Oh, this is very interesting. I'm going to do this with the family today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice way of understanding how we think and how we interpret and how we give instructions. The basis, the communication.
That's why I insisted on a workshop. Tomorrow it's only a talk. Again, they want on stress management in the Hindu temple in Swinton. Of course, they cannot get time. It's for a larger audience. Then it's only a talk. With talk, it's only left-brained way of, at least my way, left-brained. But with this, we can learn so much. And on top of that, the science behind all of that will make more sense. Actually, even the first activity, with many a times kids complain about limited resources, including time. Time is the most important resource. Even when we don't have, how do we do this? How do we collaborate? And if we cannot collaborate, how do we manage time? It's not that we don't have time, but how we prioritize time. That we can learn from that exercise. So amazing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Shall we start? Do you have any other questions? Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Namaste. Good.
Introduce
You?
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm Shrija. We met before.
She
Yeah,
came
but-
to the previous.
I know. Just tell the name for others too, and then.
Hi, I'm Shrija.
Yeah.
Nirmala, Natasha.
Sarika.
Sarika and
Jasmine.
Jasmine. I met.
Oh.
And this is my mom.
Yeah, I know, auntie.
If you don't have any questions, can we start?
Yeah, let's start.
One more game. The first 1 hour is gonna be a lot of games and stories, and the rest will follow again in a quick way. Do we have Aditi? Just next few minutes if she wants. Otherwise,
Okay,
if she
I'll
tells
ask
me no, and then I can do it myself. Not that I want her help.
And this is really a good one, the paper one, isn't it? mean, I can relate. Like I will tell my girls, can you just do the? Mommy, you said only the plates. I didn't put everything in the dishwasher, or you didn't ask me to clean this. Like it's every
Specific.
instruction they want to be very specific, and that's where the arguments come.
Exactly.
Well, but on the other hand, too many instructions.
They won't like
Most of
that
people
either.
don't like it.
Exactly.
Neither me. I know.
That's where what she said. It depends on their moods. Sometimes it has to be very left brain specific. Other times just do all of this. I know how to clean up. So we need to understand even their moods to be able to communicate. If you don't understand what the kids are going through in this culture, it is so hard for us to adjust. Of course, they're born and raised here, but still it is very different at school because I've gone through this and I had very open communication with my daughter. I learned so much from her. That's another thing about parenting. As much as we are ready to educate the kids and teach kids, we need to be able to learn from the kids, not just the technology from the kids, a lot more about the culture, about the school, about the friends. And that is where we can actually build up that special relationship, which is lot more needed in countries outside of India than what it is in India. So even now, whatever age your kids are, truly, and if they are much older, have a relationship as when they are teenagers, as friends, but yet cannot be friends all the time. They need certain borders, and we need to know the difference when you need to put certain instructions and then follow it up with the kids, and when you can give them a leeway. That as parents we need to understand, and sometimes we don't know. Again, this has to happen right from the beginning, that open communication with the kids. I'm learning about this culture as much as you are. The common thing is about the family. We need to be happy, we need to flourish, we need to thrive. So how can we do this together? If we have that kind of conversation with kids, making them part of it, I think then it becomes a beautiful experience. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Okay, this I've not told you. This is a game. I'm going to ask some things from them. You're going to bring it up, and you have to remember who you got it from, and then give that back later.
Challenging.
It's okay. All right. This game. Give me. Did I do this game earlier?
No.
Okay. Sometimes I forget.
It reminds me of a song.
Typical of Western country, right? That's why I purposely did this. Give me. What I'm going to do is to ask you things that you have to give me. And all of you are in one team. The two of us are in one team. So if somebody does not have, you can ask the other person. And if you do not have, for the lack of time, this can go on forever, but we will do. If you don't have, if you cannot give me what I ask twice, if you fail, and the game will be done. Okay? All right. All right. Can I get a blue pen? Blue color pen.
You
Ink
get
pen.
from
Blue
there.
ink pen.
You can take it from anywhere and give it, or
No, whatever you have. You cannot take it from one side. And
You have to give it to
you
her.
can go
Do
get
I give it?
them and then remember
She
what
has
they have.
I want it back.
you, one person can give,
And-
everyone have.
And all of you are in the team.
We are one.
Okay,
We are
all in the
yeah.
team.
Okay, okay.
You have to give
One is
No, no,
a
we
one
are
is
one.
a-
Okay.
and a red pen. You have a red pen in
From
your bag.
from top.
No. What
No,
you
if
have
you
on
don't
you.
have it. Yeah.
Not in the house. You'll get everything in the house. You'll run and get it. And people even showed me, let me get this on the way.
Alright.
A red pen.
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
One down.
Oh no.
Okay. How about a 100 rupee note? we will make it 3 things that if you don't
Any
have.
note rupees.
No, you
We
change
do
the
it for 100
rupee
One
to
more coin.
a
One more coin. Give 1 more coin.
Okay, £100 note.
1,000 rupees. I'll have 1,000 rupees. Is it?
Ah.
1,000 rupees. Look at that.
See, you're giving more than.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
So we're still in the
That's
game.
what we
We're
are
still in the game.
All right. Look at that. So, I know that's why I purposely asked rather than 100 rupee note, 1,000, right? How about a £100 note?
It
There
doesn't
is no-
exist.
it doesn't
No,
exist.
the denomination
We're right
is
to the
not
game.
there.
It doesn't
Right.
exist.
Yes,
It doesn't exist.
50 is the max.
Okay. So we
We're right to the
we
game.
failed, right? £100 note does not exist. Okay, but I have £5 note or a coin, not a note, probably a coin, right?
A note.
No, I don't think.
No,
£5
coin.
note.
10 I have.
I have to.
No, not this time. 1 I can, because otherwise it would have been
only have
over.
10.
So.
We can collectively
We
give
don't
it,
find
yeah.
out how much you have.
Collectively we can give, no?
You guys are very trusting
Okay.
with your money. This
All
will
right.
backfire very badly for all of you.
I'll give you.
Not a candy. Already saw a candy. How about a chocolate piece? And that we won't give you
Chocolate.
back.
Where's your chocolate?
And that goes to Aditi.
Chocolate.
Peanut bar.
Any
That's
chocolate.
fine. Doesn't matter. Any chocolate.
Where's your chocolate?
Any
If
chocolate.
this is a step still like, is it okay?
No,
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 that's
no,
chocolate.
no,
No,
of course not.
Wait, I should have.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, no, it's not.
That we are not giving back, right, Aditi? All right. How about? Did we ask for a red pen?
Yes.
But only we
We
lost.
are-
Oh, you didn't
lost
have.
one, yeah.
Okay, you
we
lost
have
that.
already one down.
That's right. Already 1 down. How about a pair of gloves?
This for the.
Yeah.
Cyclist. Cyclist, so she has 11. Yeah.
Look at that.
Well done.
Wow.
And then earphones. Let's ask. What do you think?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
but-
Go ahead. Ask that.
Any earphones, like any types of
AirPod.
AirPods, headphones.
You're going
What
to
is
empty
that?
your bag.
It's a Mary Poppins
It feels
bag.
like daylight robbery.
Yeah, Mary Poppins bag.
She will.
Think about something.
I'll give one
Us.
Phone. Any
Oh,
everyone.
Yeah,
No.
Okay. They have asked. Go
We're
ahead.
still in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yes.
thought I'd be a bit nice.
Good. Think.
Not sure.
Lot of things.
I've
Everybody
some
must
ideas
have.
if
We
you
don't
like.
have right now with us. Perfume, jewelry, makeup.
Chewing gum? I don't know. That, I think that's Oh, I thought
Me too. You're not getting that.
Oh, you're giving?
I'm taking it for
Then you be the assistant.
Okay. Go ahead.
I can't.
You can't?
think.
All right. You don't have to. Okay. Red pair of socks. Don't take it off. If you. I cannot see everybody.
No.
We lost.
Oh.
No, so 2 down.
Yeah, it's got
Two
Yeah.
down. Two down.
Okay.
So the
game is
over.
over.
All right. The game is over. You can keep whatever you want, and then. That is for our youngest volunteer. We need to do that, right?
This will you
Oh,
take it?
bless her. Take
And
it.
you.
She had your chocolate.
No, it's okay.
Pen.
No, we have a lot of chocolate at home.
Just-
Oh, can I have my
just
pen back?
kidding.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now what did we learn from this? Now you know how it goes. This is going to be funny. We'll say two more, and then a couple of stories, and then we'll enjoy the stories. What did we learn from this?
Well, nobody actually asked why. And, you know, they were being selfless and just participating.
Isn't it? That's so beautiful. Yes.
So question of chance, who has what you asked.
Okay.
It doesn't happen all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't give everything what's being asked for.
Yeah.
We can give what we have. Yeah.
Play with the kids, right? They have to get that message. You cannot give everything the kids ask for. Yes. And then?
I think there's a level of trust. in
Sometimes
the
we
room.
don't know what we have.
We know that we are asking,
One by one.
I was just going to say that there's a level of trust and confidence in the room as well to be able to like give.
But if you're giving unconditionally, then
Yeah.
there's no need.
To my generation, especially, a lot of like adults would not trust us. There was a shop. Remember that shop outside of Nicholson's,
Oh, yeah.
and it says only one school child can come in at a time. So
Oh,
yeah,
we are not trusting.
yeah, not very trusting.
No, that is true. Even in India, I was working in a tribal hospital and a tribal school. Even there, because it's kids, they like those little chocolates, and then there are no cameras or anything, right? They have to be so watchful. They would be so cautious with the kids. Anyway, yeah. Anything else? Yes.
And sometimes I said, we don't know what we have. We have to search in case we have.
If you
We are
have.
not aware what you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
At some
Not
point,
aware of what you have. Yes.
at some point, I wasn't able to find any single thing it's been asked. So I was feeling, oh, I'm not I'm not of or useless
In
Yeah.
this team,
in this
for this
yeah,
activity.
Yeah.
For this.
I'm not able to give anything.
There's a trust that I'm going to get back, so I didn't bother.
We can only give what we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't have something, we can't give.
There's a collective everybody equally participated. That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
everybody want to win it. Whatever it is, we were just trying to give it.
As a
She
team.
was checked in.
As a team.
Yeah. The context of this was possession. So
Huh?
Can you switch off the lights?
1 second.
the context of this task was around giving possessions as well. So, you know, I don't know if there's something in the messaging about giving another part of you, you know, an emotional part of you or something else that's not materialistic. I don't know.
All of it is true. All of it is true, and much more. See, I asked you something that did not exist. I knew that. There was no 100-pound note. It's not because I'm coming from yours, I'm clueless about your currency. Purposely I asked. And purposely I asked for a 100-rupee note and you had 1,000. Even if it exists, if we don't have, we cannot give, right? And something that does not exist at all, how can we give? But as you rightly said, it's not about materialistic things. If we take it to the next level of something much more, there is nothing like that we do not have in terms of qualities. Whether it's positive or negative qualities, we have everything that you can imagine. There is nothing like what the kids ask, what the parents ask, what other siblings ask that we do not have, that we cannot give. We may not want to give for a different reason. That's a different thing. Here it is material objects, tangible. We may have, we may not have. But when it comes to something truly giving of ourselves, we have all of that, whether it is anger or whether it is understanding and love and trust. We need to think from that perspective, as I said. You're working as a team, you're not working as an individual. This is the way it is with families or with the working team. We will never be able to have all the qualities that we want, whether within the family or at workplace. But when you're working in a team, it's not about who has more, who has less, who has this, who has that. You're working as a team. Never feel helpless. This can happen only through communication. Usually such feelings, what do? The negative feelings, and I feel helpless, I don't have anything, I'm not contributing, we keep it within ourselves and we feel low. And if for some people it will even become a habit and a pattern that leads to low self-confidence and low self-esteem. But when we are working as a team here, it's the same thing with the family. The family is in it together for everything good. It's not just between husband and wife. You get married, you stay for whatever. You are for good or tough times or good times. Just like as you get married, for tough times or good times, you are in it together. The whole family is entirely together in tough times and in great times. These activities, of course, just like as you said, we can do it at home rather than giving so much instructions. And sometimes we don't even know how to give instructions. It's all within inside, especially as parents, because we love our kids so much. We want them to be turn out better than ourselves and not have so much tough time as we had. Because we know it's not about the money, right? When you have to be happy, when you have to come up, other things.
Yeah. See, like when you say a blue pen, it was okay, we can able to. When it say like immaterial, like I want a quality time.
Yeah.
Suppose when you're having interaction with your friends or your spouse, we think we are giving a quality time. We'll give one advice, then it just passes. Oh, right, this is not.
Right.
Why you are giving this advice? We think we are giving out of our heart and love to our.
That's where the communication don't happen at a certain age. The kids will take after 7 years, 8 years, they will start questioning what your quality of time is very different than the kids' quality of time, just like the tearing the instructions. And our interpretation will be so very different. Until and unless we communicate these things with family members, and the way, I don't know here, but the way we're used to doing it won't cut in. Either literally, this I did 35 years back when I was raising my only daughter. We used to have meetings, just the three of us, only one daughter. We used to have meetings, or January 1st to make New Year resolutions, or take away somewhere to be able to connect and then have not necessarily meetings like this. All different things you need to be able to come up with your own ways too. I'm just giving examples of what I did. Just go away to watch the sunrise. Even if you have to drive 2 hours, that is what, this is my quality time. This is my special time. This is how I do to show my love and affection to you. What is your way? You teach me. I will also learn and do that. Because usually parents' way of showing is taking away, driving them 2 hours for something. It was easy for me. Driving 2 hours to go to an Indian restaurant. At that time it was so tough. 44 years back, the Indian restaurant, if I had to go drive 2 hours. For me, that was special, taking her to a restaurant. That is not as special for that kid, right? So we need to do our way also, because it makes us feel good, and their way also, but with the right communication and right understanding, not just one way. Sometimes you have to come to a common understanding. Never happen. Their way will never happen. Our way they will never agree. That communication. Both the previous one and this is also showing. So, but whatever the kids want, we have everything within us. I'm not talking about just the materialistic things. Even that we have. But that is where we're going to show the difference. What are the materialistic things that they can get it right now for their growth and for their betterment? And what are the things that is innate within us, the qualities? Sometimes they will say, I don't want anything, don't get angry with me, or trust me more, is all they ask. I'm really surprised. I know this happens. I don't know anything. This is how I understand one mind. This is how it is. Many people say, did you come to our house last night or 2 nights back? We had this discussion and you heard our arguments, what was happening at home. This is what others have asked me. It's not that this is common for all of us. This is how things go, things happen, right? At times it's easy, we say all of this, we go to understand, to have empathy and compassion. We need to be in somebody else's shoes. We think we fit in our children's shoes. Literally we cannot. They have smaller feet than us.
Not me.
We cannot fit in their shoes. Exceptions, I'm not talking, but literally. Only with communication and two-way communication, and not taking decisions one way like we were raised, but with both of you have to be happy. And once you decide, both the sides need to follow until you cannot follow, and then come up with newer things, newer ways. This is how we build values within the family.
I think that.
There is water here.
I'm okay. I do this all the time,
Okay,
every day.
yeah, that's it.
It's
So, we can start off with the value system at home, even with meetings, with all of this. Try and see how you can come up with the right values, keeping everybody in mind, not just parents' values that children have to follow. Some of the values that they have, which may not be of value for us, we need to respect that and follow that also.
Sometimes, especially children, how will we teach them to share their thoughts or what they like or don't like? There may be some barriers in expression.
Yeah, it's not about teaching. It takes time. Overnight you cannot. You have to build that rapport. Just like when we make friends, overnight can we have a friend who will open up? It's exactly the same way with the kids. We need to build that trust, which means we need to be trustworthy. Unless it is something that is not your value, sometimes for us it might be tough, right? Then you need to communicate. The old way of looking at introverts and extrovert, my child is an introvert, she or he does not open up. Come out of that labeling. If you it is going to be hard with adults. With your spouses, it might be hard. With the kids don't understand. If you build a trust and rapport, those labels won't matter. Introverts, extroverts, they won't express. And we also need to learn to understand how they're expressing. Sometimes with resistance, sometimes with something else, and slowly keep developing that trust, so that when they open up, whichever way you understand, whichever way you open up, whether with actions or with words or with feelings, whatever it is, they also understand. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be one way, but our way of communicating, they have to understand, and their way of communicating or sometimes resisting, we need to understand and go according. Because I'm seeing this come from several generations apart from you. What I see in US, the kind of discussions that I have with youngsters, young parents like you, and even younger, than you how they are raising their kids, especially in this day and age, with the kind of influence, with the technology. It is, and there is no one rule that will apply. This is another thing. Each one of us has to figure out within our own family, along with the kids. We don't realize a lot of the stress comes from, yes, at work somehow we manage, because if it is getting tough, that we need to step up with our training and whatnot. But always it is at home the stress starts, and we gave the work as an example. So it's about the priorities, as you rightly said, because we are so emotionally invested here. If we are happy here, we'll be able to manage other places. Or if we are happy at work, we'll be able to manage. Yes, it's the other way around too. When you're very happy at work, it will show.
Yeah.
Somewhere at one place, you have to be very comfortable. It does not matter where. And you have to work. And even that open communication has to be there. We don't need to hide things as parents. Like in some families, Indian families, the kids were clueless of what was happening in their parents' lives. That's how I'm talking about in my generation. It doesn't matter about the generation. And I see that even amongst many of the parents, whether Indian or American parents, it happens. But we will know where to draw the line, how much to share, all of that. We have to learn. Sometimes we will make mistakes, but we need to learn. But clearly, everybody in the family has to have that bottom foundation, that all of us are in this together to have a happy, successful, thriving family. And somebody will go up and down as long as all of you are not low. Even that happens in circumstances like that what Sharda went through 2 years back. How can somebody be up at that time, the situations that you go through, and together you will come out? That also needs to be communicated. So either way, when we are happy at one place, we need to bring that and then see how it can be. All right. Okay. Any questions with this? We'll move on. I'll tell you again some stories before we actually start off, and then we'll have the tea for the stories, and then.
Sorry, can I quickly ask
Yes,
one question?
please.
It's probably not appropriate to ask. You may not have an answer. The only thing is, I knew that if I haven't done or achieved something which I wanted to achieve at the end of the day, I'm not happy with what I've done in the work. That replicates how I behave with my kid or with my husband. Yeah, it changes my mood completely.
Absolutely.
So are there ways to handle this effectively?
I'll address this as we go along. I'll
Super.
take that as an example.
Okay. Thank you.
Rather than
Yeah.
giving you
It's
the
the
answer
same-
right
it's the
away.
same with
Any
us,
other
isn't it?
questions?
Yeah, more of us will follow.
It is the
That's
same.
what I was getting to know. It's the other way around, because we are more. Lot of time we are in the office, so it's more of energy. You
Absolutely.
capture the negative ones, which pass it on
Absolutely.
to the family.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Anybody else? Then I can take this up as we go along as
Yes,
an
please.
example, and then.
Children aren't that clueless.
Huh?
If children aren't that clueless, we may not know what's happening, but there's also studies of things like how babies respond to how their parents talk to them. Although we may not know the exact situation,
You're
a lot of the time we're definitely not clueless, so we're not completely unknowing because we're able to bounce off of how our parents are responding. That's the natural way of children. In the same way that you gain influence from schools or anywhere around you, you gain influence from even tiny things, because that's how children are built. They're meant to pick up on those small notices
Sponge.
from parents.
Yeah.
That's a great thanks for sharing this, Aditi, because this is what it is. The thing is, if you don't have the right communication and the right trust, They are kids. They will not have that kind of discerning power as adults have the discerning power, what is right and what is wrong, what is right short time, what is right long term. That comes mostly through life experience. They're so young. So they will make their own decisions if you don't have the right communication and trust. And they will not even know whether it is right or not. And they're ready to learn. The thing is, they're not concerned about right or wrong. They're ready to learn and absorb. The kids' brains and mind, it's like sponge. They are absorbing, like you said, every little thing because it is part of learning, and that we need to appreciate as adults. What are they learning? This is what I said. Even parents need to learn from the kids. I'm glad you expressed that.
And not only parents from kids, adults from kids. Adults from
of
children.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids don't have life experience, but they have a level of perceptiveness because obviously
Perception, yeah.
they're not doing as much as that. They don't have to go to a job. So they have that space to be perceptive and to pick up on even small things. And that's just that. Because when you're growing up, one of the things that you do growing up is you learn how to read body language. You learn how to pick up on things. So your childhood is when you're most aware of things like that. So if your parent comes back from work, they won't tell you what's happening, but you can see, depending on maybe what they have for dinner, if it's something big, or if they get something, or if they're short with you, or if they want to spend time with you, if they're on their phone, or if they go straight back to work. It's obvious how they felt.
Thanks for sharing this.
Everyone's got ammunition now.
We never think of
But
it
these
like
are-
this,
It's the same
right?
with Vicky. It's not just you. It's also older people. Vicky,
Everybody.
I know
Yes.
how he
It's
comes.
not about
depending on
one.
how he
It
responds.
is in everybody's family. She's representing
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
Shad's
No, but
daughter.
Vito,
She's
I think-
representing all
Have
the
that
teachers.
precious.
It's good to have a young mind in the room as
What
well.
happens?
Exactly. Her perception and her perspectives are completely
Ask for
different
more
where we
pocket
come
money.
Yeah.
Pocket money.
No. I know he just robbed me yesterday.
No, because you keep taking cash from me. You borrowed like £60 in cash from
Yeah,
me.
yeah, give it back.
Interest
Interest.
calculation. Yeah, and then send.
Sorry, Auntie. Over to you.
No, these are important. See, we take it lightly because we feel it's righteous indignation. If I got angry because something happened at work, I always say this is the hardest. But if we know this, we need to keep trying.
How to correct
Which
it?
is, what it is this. No matter how we feel, we need to act the right way. What you talked about how you feel when things went wrong at work does not matter how you feel. When we come home, when we are with others, we need to act the right way. And another way of saying is, we always need to be doing the right thing. Many a times as parents, as teachers, we focus on doing things right. Even if we don't think critically, if we make mistakes, but doing the right thing. There is a slight difference, right? Just mixing up words this way and that way. Some of these are open-ended, and you need to be thinking about these things. And this is where these things, after you think, after this, we go through support group meetings to whenever these are open-ended, you need to reflect on this. These are the ones which we are going to bring that up when we conduct those support group meetings. Because if you just do the talk or workshop and then go home, we're still stuck in terms of implementation. Intellectually we can understand. You can even do better presentation than me. Some people can do it. It's not about implementation. That is where it is so. Anything else you want to add? That was great help because we got the answer right away.
There's a difference between not showing that you're angry but showing it in the right way, because it's worse if you're suppressing it, but it's different because if you're showing that maybe you had a bad day at work, however you respond to it is how your child is going to grow up responding to it, because they're going to learn it from you. So if you respond to it in the right way when you come home, it's not a bad thing to show that you've had a bad day at work. You shouldn't come home and think, I need to change how I'm acting completely because it's a different space. It's okay to show that something in your day is affecting you, but showing how it's affected you, that's what's going to teach your child how to respond to things.
And this how to respond comes in those meetings that you do. I would come home and say, I need a special hug today. I had a tough time. I need more hugs. So this we would have come up with. If I feel low, what you should do for your spouse, for your kids, this you need to come to an understanding beforehand, not just things that are different each time. Of course, you need to be spontaneous too, I'm not saying, but there are going to be times the other, whether it is spouse or the kids, would know how tough it was and it's a different day. Not the ordinary tough day, and they will come up with different ideas. In other words, it's not about every day coming, bringing stress from home. That's not what we're saying. But we also need to manage. That's why we are here, how to manage. But that open communication will help. And it has to be two ways. And many times this is what is lacking. And not just with Indian families. Trust me. This is where we feel as adults we cannot share. We have to, if I cannot handle this work, and especially with men, it happens. At least we will come out and say, as women, how tough it is. Men will have to, you have to bear that, right? It happens in many families even more. Well, all of this is coming to experience. Not all of it I would have done. And I've seen the 4 decades and different generations, and still seeing because of traveling. And these are the suggestions I would like to give even. Okay. And then we'll take the stories and take away. Yes. And the rest will go really quickly. Okay. It's a glass of water. How much do you think it weighs? Guess.
How much? Sorry, what's the
How
question?
much this glass of water weighs?
Weighs, okay. 300 ml?
Weighs, not volume. 300 grams?
300 grams.
Gram.
Grams.
No, it looks a bit
No,
Wait,
it would be
150.
yeah, it would be
150 grams.
150 grams.
Water
Now, how
with the
much
glass.
does the weight
No,
of
with
the
the
glass
glass.
and
Oh,
water?
sorry, the glass.
Yeah.
Glass
Yeah.
and yeah,
Combined. Okay, maybe.
150 grams.
500 grams.
I would say 500.
500.
400 grams.
400 grams.
grams.
Yeah, I'll go with 400
Is
grams.
it
400
plastic or
200
glass?
grams.
It's glass.
Glass, thick glass.
Along with the water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 5, I'd say 5.
Okay, keep that. Wait. Don't write down answers. Whatever weight you have given, keep that, okay? Want to read out?
In holding a glass of water for a minute, hour, or day, the weight of the glass will never change. But as time passes, the longer you hold it, the heavier it will become.
Get it? Go ahead.
The longer you carry stress without a break, the heavier it will become and the less effective you will become.
Yeah, it's not the amount of it. Even if it is 150 grams, you hold it all the time, wherever you go, including in your sleep, where you cannot put it down. It's not the amount of weight. This is symbolic again. But if you learn how to manage stress, go ahead.
The simple solution to staying refreshed and vibrant is to learn how to put down the glass.
That I see over a period of time. That weight of glass is nothing but our stress, right? Again, symbolic. And some of the stresses we can take care of ourselves. Some of them, it is hard for each person to. This is where you need the help of others, either the family or friends, or even at work, for whatever it is, somebody whom you can trust at times. Sometimes the catharsis helps. You know what catharsis is? Like just talking it out brings it down. But it has to be somebody I trust. This is where many a times, if we don't give that natural environment for this respect, now for certain types of stresses that our kids go through, which we are not even aware, what they go through, we are not aware, but they can understand the stress we go through at work, because we are not grown up in this environment. We only know second hand what they're going through. So if we don't have that trust built up, and they're gonna go do catharsis with their friends, and who knows, they will not be able to decide whether this friend is, whatever the friend is going to be helpful or not. They will find it over a period of time, right? And we will not blame them, at least they will have some friends, but even that is okay. We need to understand. We cannot say, don't go to the friends, I'm here, come tell me everything. Not even that. We need to really go deep and understand, because lot of times as parents, we focus lot of it on our own stress and not understand at a deeper level what the spouses go through, what the kids go through. Many a times, ultimately it is about communication. Introvert, extrovert, he does not express with them, none of that. That is the role of the parent, to build that trust and rapport with the kids. Yeah. So that's one. Any this regular. So, it's, okay.
I think the topic always goes around the kids. It might be your spouse or adults or so.
Absolutely, because she was there.
No, I'm just asking. That is more tricky it is becoming at least kids.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
mostly it is with kids, but definitely with spouses. I wanted you to come up with it. Sometimes it's not even people who are here, people who are in India, our own siblings, our own parents, our own in-laws. I'm just saying kids because she could relate. One kid was here, so I just.
No, I'm asking. That's where more the tricky.
Absolutely, especially with siblings who cannot understand what you're going through here. For some people, it differs. But irrespective of who it is, what happens here is that will be the same, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
Okay. You know about the story, right? Blind people figuring out what an elephant is. You don't have to say. It's just like us. Our own experience is rarely the entire truth. Whether at work with colleagues, whether it is with spouses and kids here, or the in-laws and siblings and parents at home, or with other strangers and neighbors for that matter, it doesn't matter. Everybody is going through, we only know a certain way. It is the same thing about stress. We all understand stress in our own way. I'm not saying it is not wrong, but it is not the entire thing. So we are trying to figure out in overall manner, entire thing, what you can understand I'm sure I would have told this story last time for the three of you who were here last time, but I'll make it really quick. The story was made popular by a managed to identity trucker. Anybody has heard the name of it? Yes. Yeah. He made this, he made this related to our culture and then the circumstances. It's a remote village in India. Imagine. It's a thought experiment to a story with a thought experiment. Imagine a remote village in India. And as you can see, construction work is happening. And a stranger in the next town passes by and sees, he doesn't see what was happening. And then he stops at the first stone cutter and asks, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Can't you see I'm cutting stones?" He says, "Okay, do that." And then goes to the next stone cutter and asks the same question, "What are you doing?" And she says, "You know what, this is the thing I do it for my paycheck. I have my family at home, my parents, my kids, I have to bring them up. I like this job, I do a good job, that's what I'm doing." So then he goes to the third person and asks the same question. He stops and says, "You know what? Some philanthropist is building a temple in this village. We hardly have anything in this village. Once the temple is built, there are going to be fruit vendors, flower vendors, and many people, priests, and then so many things will happen, and this village will flourish. And then others from neighboring villages will also come to see the temple. So I am part of building that temple." He says. Same question, three different answers. Mind you, all the three answers were correct. None of them were wrong. We have done the same thing. Somebody asks when we're about to go for work, at that time, if somebody calls and asks, "What else do I do at this time? I'm getting ready to go to work." That's what we say, right? And then what do? We do, all of us need that paycheck. We do this for the bread and butter most of the times. But can we keep relating like the third person? Why? We need the paycheck, yes. See, all the three people, same amount, no more, no less. And all the three of them got the same salary. Who do you think was happier?
Third one.
Third one.
Because he was able to relate to something that is something
Purpose.
bigger than himself, a greater cause. Even us, day to day, we forget why we came to this country. Yes, because my husband was already here, I came. I'm not looking for that answer, you know that. Why did we even get married? Oh, that is the now. I'm not even looking for that. Something deep. Why? Why did we get married? Why did we have kids? Why did we come to this country? That we have that inside, but we need to be cognizant of it most of the times, or at least at times when we are having tough times, if not all the time. That is when it is most needed, we forget, and rightly so. But that is why we have things like this to remind us, to put us back on track. So if you look at it, it was only the change in perception about those three stone cutters, right? Same work. I'm not going to ask you to do anything different. How to put down the glass is up to you, whichever way you put down. But whichever way you put it down, but how you're looking at that glass of water, that weight, that stress, that has to change. How we are looking at stress itself. And we're going to say this, I'm not talking in a philosophical way, I'm bringing this hardcore science. So we're going to look at stress itself in a different way. It's not just how we manage stress. That we have plenty of net, we have plenty of tools. until and unless we have a strong why do we need to come out of stress, not just manage stress. Yes, starting with managing stress, but to come out of it forever. That perception, until and unless the perception towards stress changes, none of this will matter. So it was Max Planck, who was a quantum physicist, who said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So today we're going to look at stress from a different perspective, so that we're not going to just try and overcome stress, manage stress, but to truly evolve through the stress. Because stress is a given, right? How do we evolve through stress? Is what we're going to learn today. Right? Because there were no right or wrong answers in that. But we're going to change the way we are looking at stress itself. So how do we evolve? And I've come up with 3 things. I'm not going to give you this. It can be different for each person. By the end, I'm going to ask you what those things are. So you're going to give me the answers after you go through the rest of them. Okay? All right. Now is the time to take a
Okay. At least 15 minutes.
What time is it? Do we need 15
It's
minutes?
12:30.
Oh, is it going to be lunch time now? Or
Yeah,
it-
it's
Oh,
a
lunch.
lunch break now.
Oh, really? Okay. This we're still in the intro. Yes,
Oh, it's
that's
better to
fine.
have
But
lunch
let's
then.
have.
Yeah.
If we can even eat and then.
Yeah, we can bring lunch
yeah.
here and eat.
Yeah, I'll quickly.
But you
do
two
the
have to
lunch.
You have to
eat,
take
no?
I
over.
will take the lunch first, and then you can come and eat, because with the activity we did so much fun. We learned so much. I didn't want to restrict on the time. That's where we learned. All of this will go really fast. Absolutely.
And
15 to 20.
Sure. This way of learning is we get it better
Yeah.
inside.
And the smaller group is even better if you have.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
Honestly. Because 3 people here coming back again, that are dangerous.
Auntie, so I'm pausing live streaming,
Yes.
and we'll
Scary.
start in 15
15
minutes.
minutes. Then.
We'll restart in 15 minutes.
Digestion related, so.
Oh,